Hello and welcome. Today we are in the Tier 10 Japanese battleship Yamato. You might have noticed that my Yamato looks slightly different. That's because this is FSI Yamato 2.0. It is a custom skin made by, I believe, the C Group. I of course installed it from Aslane's mod pack. It's a really cool skin, I like it. We're in a fully tier 10 battle on the map North with CVs. And there's only 2 battleships per team, so I decide to sit back a little bit at the start of the game, utilize my range instead of doing something very silly. In a match like this, battleships are very important. So you don't want to lose them too early to a push that just wasn't worth it. And Yamato is actually pretty good for this because she's pretty accurate for a battleship. I'm way better off than that Grossa Kofest, for example, who is itching to push in, but it's not the greatest idea because she'd be pushing into a Smolensk, a Grozovoi, potentially a Minotaur, and obviously a Yamato as well. And, of course, if she ends up out of position without enough support, then our CV is also likely to strike her. So pushing is a pretty scary prospect in a match like this, especially early pushing. Of course, later it'll be probably much better once ships start thinning out a little bit. But you have to still have enough HP for the later parts of the match, so that's why I decide to sit back and wait for a better opportunity to push. It seems that their Grossa Kofest is backing off, which I think is the right choice. But I think this also means that if she keeps moving away from the cap zone, that even though Z-52 might be in it and she might have won the duel against our destroyer, it's entirely possible that one of our light cruisers will just sneak around the cap and surprise the Z-52 and then maybe even take the cap zone. But all I have to do right now is be patient. Really patient. Patient, patient, patient. And I'm not very good at being patient in this game. But I have to be. Because pushing right now is a bad idea. They have a Smolensk, a Z-52, a Hindenburg, potentially a Grossa Kofest, because we haven't seen ships on this side of the map, and the worst part is if I get caught out alone, the Hakuryu is also going to pay me a visit. And all of these are pretty bad prospects for the health of my ship. Therefore, I have to sit back and wait. Thank God this Hindenburg appeared, because at least I have something to shoot at. We are a bit unlucky that our midway spawned on the other side of the map, so she's very likely to just keep striking over at the A-cap. Remember how I mentioned the Z-52 and the light cruisers pushing around? I mean, look at where that Minotaur is going. And we know the Z-52 is there. She's pretty much stuck there now, because she would have to turn her ship around in a small, narrow straight, I guess. Oh, and hello, Des Moines! I guess it's time to start going forward now, because I have found myself a target. Ho ho! 36k damage! And I don't think she's actually capable of turning away there, because it looked like she was going to either run into the island or turn and keep going towards our side of the map, which puts her in a position where she cannot disengage. And hey, the Minotaur made contact with the Z-52, and the Z-52 is history. The only problem with my current position is that I am alone, and I would be a very good target for the enemy CV. Of course, this would help the rest of my teammates, so maybe it's not the worst thing in the world that could happen. But it would be nice to have the support of that Venezia that was not too far from me. Right now though, I'm trying to find the Des Moines, but also there's apparently a Smolensk in the middle too. And perhaps we can have a second cruiser to deal with. I'm surface spotted. Must have been the Des Moines, I think. Come on, where are you, little cruisers? Ah, she went behind the island. That is unfortunate. But we know where the Smolensk is, and maybe we can deal with her. I don't wish to take that blind shot into the smoke because I am unspotted. The Smolensk cannot spam me right now. But if I take a blind shot, chances are I'm not gonna do too much damage and I will give my position away for the Smolensk. Okay, I'm being radared, so I guess at this point it doesn't matter as much. Because the Smolensk could start shooting me anyway, so I'm gonna take that shot. Come on. Oh, a citadel on a Smolensk. I think it is a Smolensk. Wow. I guess you must have been angled, otherwise it probably would have been an overpen. I'm just gonna keep going exactly as I was before, even though Smolensk could potentially torp me, and I'm gonna change my course later, because if she torps me right now, the torps are likely to miss. Also, my Smolensk, Venezia, and Minotaur are coming back, which means that I won't be a good target for the enemy CV anymore. Come on, I need like 2 more shells on that Smolensk to finish her off. Please, game, please. Oh, I don't think it's likely. The plane might spot her again, but she's gonna be behind that rock, and my shells will be unable to go over it. I guess maybe I should just go for the B cap. The destroyer is spotting the Haruguma, and if that Des Moines is obviously not much of a threat to me, so I think I can actually pretty safely go into the B cap at this point. At least I don't see any ships that would be a big threat. Come on, Hindenburg. Oh, ho, ho. Goodbye, Hindenburg. Also, Z52, we're going this way. You hear? We're going this way. That's what you get when you pair up an obsolete warship with an actual sci-fi battleship. Anyway, the cap is gonna be ours. Well, hopefully. I do have to turn in because Haruguma is likely going to torpedo us. And it is going to be important not to eat too many of those. Wait, did she just fire her guns? She did! But I suppose she would be behind the island again immediately. Oh well. But I'm already at an angle where the Haruguma's torps can't hurt me too much, so... Oh, there she is! Would you like some... it's 18.1 inch AP. 6k damage. Ouch! And I'm not too worried about Hakuryu's rocket planes. Single torpedo, 10k, so that was on the torp belt. That's alright. But we are at least gonna take the B cap. The question is whether I should try to stay. Oh! And Alexander Nevsky. The question is whether I should stay in that B cap. Because if I do stay in it and I get spammed by, I don't know, a Haruguma that's smoked up, it would be difficult for us to take the cap, but perhaps it'll be fine. Because they don't seem to be shooting me all that much. Ah, an overpen. The pen would have been very nice there. Would have finished off the Nevsky, but we probably won't get that opportunity again. Because she's gonna be behind the island and she's healing up. Instead though, we have a Hakuryu that's stationary. And she's bow on, which makes it very difficult to actually shoot her because you have to get through the bow. And make sure that none of your shells hit the deck, because if they hit the deck, they will simply ricochet. You have to land the shells onto the bow. Which is difficult at range, because the... I'm pretty sure the aim assist tries to aim at the center of the ship. So hitting the bow can lead to more inaccuracies or something, I'm not entirely sure. But in my experience it is quite difficult to shoot the bow at this kind of range. especially if you have to make sure that you don't actually hit the deck. Oh wow, okay, maybe not. Maybe it's just fine. Wow, 4 penetrations that included the Citadel. That's pretty good. Anyway, the angle is going to be probably much better than before. The Hakuryu is also unlikely to turn towards us, because she's probably gonna try to run, and then she will show us some side. The Yamato is getting behind the island, so she won't be a threat to me. So the only threat I have to really worry about here is Harugumo torping me. But I have a Minotaur for that, so that's probably not too much of a worry anymore either. I guess we should keep continuing on shelling the Hakuryu. I think she's reversing, which is actually the absolutely correct decision by that Hakuryu. If you're a CV in this situation, you're already dead. Showing side will just hasten your demise. It is important to waste the enemy's time as much as possible, and sitting bow on while you reverse away from them tends to be a pretty good option. But her time is numbered. Gonna need 1 torp again, probably on the torp belt again. Yep, it is. 3000 HP on the Hakuryu. Or I could shoot the Nevsky. Well, rear turret will shoot the Nevsky, main turrets will go back on the CV. Oh, and she decided to run now, which I suppose is a little too late. But then again, next salvo she would be dead anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. Goodbye. Okay, Nevsky has 200 HP. Minotaur is probably gonna finish her off. Next up, it is the Harugumo. We're 5 versus 4. We have 2 capstones. I like our chances. By the way, remember that Grossakofest from the start? She is basically where I used to be. I guess we traded positions. But we're both alive. I think that Harugumo looks very yeah, very dead. That Minotaur deserves a compliment. Okay, well now they only have a Yamato and a Goliath left. We still have plenty of ships, so I think we're gonna be fine. Yamato showing some side. Maybe we'll get a lucky salvo, probably not, but you never know. And I guess we'll just start heading over towards the ANCAP, because that's all there is left in this match. 4 over penetrations. I guess it makes sense. The Yamato was turning in, and I did fire at very long ranges. Goliath is also gonna be a great target. I mean, she's soft pretty much everywhere, and you're likely to get some pretty chunky shots when you get some AP pens on her from a battleship. We'll actually have to see her first, although I think Midway is gonna take care of that in a moment. Hello, Goliath. It'll be difficult to land from this angle and distance though. At least significant shots. And she's gonna probably maneuver to mitigate the damage from those rocket planes too. Oh, Yamato's coming back. So I guess we'll focus on her instead. Lion Lander. I guess he lands lions. Or something. She does appear to be looking at me, although I think she's gonna switch targets to the Minotaur that just opened fire on her. One downside with using this skin is that I'm pretty sure the skin is slightly larger than the ship itself. So it kind of messes with where I should aim. At least the experience I have with aiming against the Yamato wasn't quite there. Also, I'm sorry that I finished off that Yamato, because I forgot that the Minotaur was at 4 kills and he could have used that Yamato kill to get a Kraken. I'm gonna leave Goliath for him though. This has been a pretty amazing match. I mean, I was patient, and I was rewarded for that patience. I guess it's because I'm using FSI Yamato skin, right? That's where all that luck is coming from. Come on, Minotaur, I believe in you. You can do it. Hello, Goliath. Would you like some AP? It's too bad that I'm trying to leave this one for the Minotaur. Otherwise, this looked like a pretty good shot for me. She's opening up on me, but I'm just gonna sit back. If my secondaries accidentally get it, that'll just be blamed on the Minotaur. But I'm not gonna use my main guns. Come on, Minotaur! You can get that Kraken, or not. If I had known that, I would have taken that shot. But Minotaur got a Kraken in my heart, okay? She got a Kraken in my heart. 174k damage, 7 Citadel hits, sank 3 ships, even shot down some planes, and capped the base. Oh, and I survived all of the... Oh, 3,204 base XP. Wow. That's a lot. Seriously a lot. Wow. I guess it's because I shot the destroyers or something? I mean, Haruguma 6? No, it's not. Is it? Oh, maybe it's because of the cruisers and I guess the CV, right? Yeah. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time. It is a really cool looking camo.